Christmas had already passed when Anna walked alone through the cold street near her small apartment. The bright joy of the holiday had faded, leaving behind quiet roads and tired faces. The decorations still hung from some windows, but they felt empty now, like memories that refused to leave. Anna held a thin bag of groceries in her hand, moving slowly as if each step carried weight. Her life had never been easy, and the years had taught her how to stay quiet and strong at the same time. She was a single mother who had raised her son alone after her husband passed away long ago. Every choice she made had been for her child, even when it meant putting her own comfort last. Anna's hands were rough from years of hard work, and her coat was old but clean. She worked as a cleaner in office buildings, often late into the night, earning just enough to survive. She never complained, because complaining never changed anything. Her neighbors knew her as a polite woman who smiled gently and spoke little. Most people never asked about her past, and she never offered to share it. All she carried was quiet pride and deep love for her son. Her son Daniel had left home many years earlier. He had promised to return one day, but life had taken him far away. Anna never asked where he went or what he did. She only knew that he served his country and that his work was serious. Every holiday, she waited for a call. Sometimes it came, sometimes it did not. This Christmas, there was no call. Anna told herself he must be busy, and she whispered a short prayer for his safety before sleeping. That evening, the air was sharp and cold. Anna reached the corner near the bus stop when a police car slowed beside her. The lights were not flashing, but the engine sound was loud in the quiet street. An officer stepped out of the car. His name was Tom, though Anna did not know it. He looked tired and irritated, as if the long shift had drained his patience. He asked Anna to stop and show her identification. Anna felt her heart tighten, but she remained calm. She explained that she had left her identification at home and offered to give her address instead. Her voice was soft and respectful. She had learned long ago that staying calm was the safest choice. Tom did not seem interested in listening. He repeated his request, this time with a sharper tone. Anna tried again to explain, her hands shaking slightly from the cold and fear. The street remained quiet, but the moment felt heavy. Anna sensed that something was wrong. She looked around, hoping someone would notice. A few windows were lit, but no one came outside. Tom stepped closer, his voice growing louder. Anna took a small step back without meaning to. She was not trying to run. She was simply afraid. What happened next felt unreal to her. The officer pushed her, not hard enough to throw her far, but hard enough to make her lose balance. Anna fell to the ground, her groceries spilling onto the cold pavement. Pain shot through her side, and her breath caught in her chest. She did not cry out. She lay there for a moment, shocked and embarrassed, staring at the sky above. A neighbor across the street opened a door and gasped. Another person stood at a distance, holding a phone. Tom stepped back, suddenly aware of eyes watching him. He told Anna to get up and collect her things. His voice was firm, but something in it had changed. Anna slowly sat up, her body aching, her pride wounded more than her side. She gathered her bread and milk with trembling hands. No one helped her. The officer returned to his car and drove away without another word. The street fell silent again, as if nothing had happened. Anna remained there for a few seconds longer, trying to steady her breathing. Then she stood and continued toward her apartment, moving more slowly than before. Inside her small home, Anna placed the groceries on the table and sat down. Her side hurt, but she told herself it would pass. Pain was something she understood well. What hurt more was the feeling of being invisible. She had done nothing wrong, yet she felt small and powerless. She wondered if this was how the world would always see her. She did not call anyone. She did not report what happened. She washed her hands, changed her clothes, and made a simple meal. As she ate, she thought about Daniel. She remembered him as a small boy running through the hallway, laughing without worry. She remembered helping him study by candlelight when the power went out. She remembered promising him that honesty and kindness mattered, even when life was unfair. That night, Anna lay awake longer than usual. The street outside was quiet, but her thoughts were loud. She wondered if Daniel would have done something differently. Then she smiled softly and shook her head. Her son had always been strong, but she never wanted him to fight her battles. She had raised him to protect others, not to seek revenge. Far away, in a place Anna had never seen, a screen played the evening news. The clip was short, unclear, and grainy. It showed a woman falling, groceries scattering across the ground. The reporter spoke calmly, but the image carried weight. A man stood still in front of the screen, his face unreadable. He recognized the woman instantly. And in that moment, the past and present quietly collided. Morning light entered the room where Daniel stood alone, facing a large screen mounted on the wall. The room was quiet, filled with calm order and steady silence. Daniel was a man shaped by years of discipline, yet his heart was deeply human. He wore a plain uniform and stood with straight posture, but his eyes showed concern. The news clip played again, showing a woman falling to the ground on a cold street. The image was not clear, but Daniel did not need clarity. He knew the woman was his mother, Anna. Memories rushed into his mind without warning. He remembered small rooms filled with simple furniture and warm care. He remembered Anna waking early and sleeping late to give him a better future. He remembered her gentle voice telling him to stay honest even when life was unfair. The woman on the screen was older now, but her strength was the same. Daniel felt a quiet pain settle in his chest. He turned away from the screen and walked toward the window. Outside, the world moved normally, unaware of the weight inside him. Daniel did not feel anger in that moment. He felt responsibility. He had learned long ago that true strength did not come from loud reaction. It came from calm action. Daniel reached for his phone and made a call. His voice was steady and clear. He did not raise it. He did not demand anything. He asked questions and gave simple instructions. The person on the other end listened carefully. After the call ended, Daniel made another. Then, another. Each call was brief and direct. Back in the city, Anna woke with pain in her side and stiffness in her body. She moved slowly, careful not to strain herself. She prepared tea and sat by the small table near the window. The street outside looked the same as always. People passed without knowing what had happened the night before. Anna felt small but calm. She told herself that yesterday was over and today must continue. She went to work as usual, cleaning offices with quiet focus. Her movements were slower, but she did not complain. A coworker noticed her discomfort and asked if she was all right. Anna smiled softly and said she was fine. She did not want attention. She believed that drawing notice only brought trouble. At the police station, the atmosphere changed by mid-morning. Phones rang more often than usual. Officers whispered among themselves. Senior staff moved quickly through the halls. Tom noticed the tension but did not understand it. He felt uneasy without knowing why. He tried to focus on paperwork, but his thoughts drifted back to the night before. He remembered the woman on the street and the fall. He told himself it was nothing serious. Still, the image returned to him again and again. When his supervisor asked him to step into an office, Tom felt a sudden tightness in his chest. He followed without speaking. Inside the office, several officials sat quietly. A screen showed the same video Tom had already seen. This time, it was paused at the moment Anna fell. The room felt heavy. No one raised their voice. One official asked Tom to explain the situation. Tom spoke carefully, choosing his words. As he spoke, he realized how weak they sounded. The official nodded slowly and asked another question. Tom answered again, feeling the ground shift beneath him. He sensed that this meeting was not routine. Something larger was at work. He did not yet know what it was. Across town, Anna finished her shift and walked home slowly. The pain had not faded, but her spirit remained steady. She unlocked her door and sat down, resting her hands on her knees. Her phone rang suddenly, breaking the silence. She looked at the screen and froze. It was Daniel. She answered with shaking hands. Hearing his voice filled the room with warmth. Daniel asked if she was all right. Anna paused before answering. She did not want to worry him. She said she was fine and asked how he was doing. Daniel listened carefully, hearing what she did not say. He told her that he had seen the news. Anna went quiet. She did not deny it. She did not explain. Daniel told her gently that she did not have to worry anymore. His voice carried calm certainty. Anna felt tears rise, but she held them back. She trusted her son completely. After the call ended, Anna sat quietly, staring at the wall. She did not know what Daniel would do, and she did not ask. She only felt a strange sense of relief. For the first time since the incident, she did not feel alone. Back at the station, Tom was asked to wait while an internal review continued. He sat alone, staring at the floor. The weight of his actions pressed down on him. He realized that authority without care could cause real harm. The thought unsettled him deeply. Later that day, a formal notice was issued. Procedures were reviewed. Reports were requested. The situation was no longer small. It was no longer quiet. The system had noticed. Daniel stood once more in his office, hands resting on the desk. He looked calm, but his mind remained focused. He did not seek revenge. He sought fairness. He believed that justice mattered most when it was done quietly and correctly. Anna prepared a simple dinner that night and ate slowly. Her body still ached, but her heart felt lighter. She thought about the future with cautious hope. She did not know what would happen next, but she sensed that change had begun. Outside, the city lights glowed softly against the dark sky. Christmas was gone, but something new had taken its place. Truth was moving forward, step by step, without noise. And the story was far from over. The next morning arrived quietly, but the city did not feel the same. News of the incident had spread further, moving through offices and homes without noise. People spoke about fairness and respect in low voices. Some felt uneasy, others hopeful. Change often began this way, slow and uncomfortable. At the police station, senior officers gathered in a closed room. The air was serious but controlled. Reports were laid out on the table, and the video was reviewed carefully. Every detail mattered now. The incident was no longer seen as a small moment on a quiet street. It had become a question of responsibility. Tom sat outside the room, waiting. Time moved slowly for him. He replayed the event in his mind again and again. He remembered the cold street and the woman's frightened eyes. For the first time, he truly saw her not as a situation but as a person. The realization weighed heavily on him. Inside the room, a senior officer spoke calmly about proper conduct and respect for citizens. Another officer spoke about training and judgment. No one shouted. No one accused. The tone was firm and serious. The goal was understanding and correction. Across town, Anna walked into the clinic for a follow-up check. The nurse spoke kindly and helped her sit down. Anna answered questions softly and followed instructions carefully. She was not angry. She was simply tired. The nurse noticed the bruising and asked how it happened. Anna hesitated, then answered honestly. The nurse nodded with quiet concern. After the visit, Anna stepped outside and felt the cool air on her face. She walked slowly toward a nearby park and sat on a bench. Children played in the distance, laughing freely. Anna watched them and thought about Daniel as a child. She wondered how fast time had passed. Her phone vibrated gently. It was a message from Daniel. He told her that things were moving forward and that she was not forgotten. Anna smiled softly. She typed a short reply telling him to stay safe and take care of himself. She did not ask for details. Trust was enough. Daniel spent the day in meetings, speaking calmly and listening carefully. He made it clear that this was not about power or rank. It was about fairness and respect. Those who spoke with him understood his position. His calm presence carried weight. Later that afternoon, officials visited the area where the incident happened. They spoke to neighbors and reviewed the environment. People shared what they had seen without fear. The process was quiet and respectful. It was not about blame. It was about truth. Tom was called into the room again. This time, he listened more than he spoke. The officers explained what would happen next. There would be review, guidance, and consequences. Tom nodded slowly. He understood that his actions had crossed a line. Accepting this was difficult, but necessary. As evening approached, Anna returned home. She prepared a simple meal and ate near the window. The street outside looked calm. She felt a sense of stillness inside herself. For the first time since the incident, she felt seen. A knock came at her door. Anna froze for a moment, then stood carefully. When she opened the door, 2 officials stood politely outside. They introduced themselves and spoke gently. They explained why they were there and asked if they could talk. Anna nodded and invited them in. They listened as Anna shared her experience. She spoke slowly, choosing her words carefully. She did not exaggerate. She did not accuse. She simply told the truth. The officials listened with full attention. One of them thanked her sincerely. After they left, Anna sat quietly, feeling both tired and relieved. Speaking the truth had taken strength, but it also brought peace. She believed that honesty mattered, even when it was hard. Wore simple clothes and carried no signs of rank. When Anna opened the door and saw him standing there, her eyes filled with tears. They embraced without words. Time seemed to pause. They sat together at the small table, sharing warm food and quiet conversation. Anna touched his hands, still rough from work despite his success. Daniel listened as she spoke about everyday things. He knew she did this to protect him from worry. Daniel finally spoke about what had happened. He explained calmly and clearly. Anna listened without interruption. She did not ask why he acted. She already knew. She reached across the table and held his hand gently. She told him she was proud of the man he had become. She said his strength came from kindness, not force. Daniel lowered his head, humbled by her words. He realized once again that his greatest teacher sat across from him. The next morning, Daniel walked with Anna through the neighborhood. People passed by without recognizing him. He liked it that way. He saw the worn steps, the quiet shops, and the simple lives around him. He understood where his values had been shaped. Anna moved slowly but steadily. Her pain had faded, but the memory remained. Still, she walked with confidence. She no longer felt invisible. The street that once held fear now felt neutral again. Daniel left a few days later, returning to his duties far away. Before he left, he hugged Anna tightly and promised to call more often. Anna smiled and told him to focus on his work. She watched him go with calm pride. Life returned to its rhythm. Anna continued her work, waking early and resting late. Her body was tired, but her spirit felt lighter. Neighbors greeted her more warmly. Some had heard her story. Others simply sensed change. At the station, Tom began a new phase of his career. He worked more thoughtfully and listened more carefully. He treated each interaction with patience. The lesson stayed with him every day. The city moved forward quietly. No headlines followed. No loud celebration came. But something meaningful had taken place. Trust had been tested and slowly rebuilt. Anna stood once more at her window as spring approached. The air felt softer. The days grew longer. She thought about the past, not with pain, but with understanding. She believed that dignity mattered, even in small moments. Far away, Daniel stood in another quiet room, preparing for new responsibilities. He carried his mother's strength with him. He knew where he came from and why he served. Christmas was long over. The lights were gone. The cold had eased. What remained was something stronger than a season. Respect endured. Truth endured.